this late, but I actually had a really busy week last week. I filmed my Flash movie review, so that's online right now. I saw the Flash on Tuesday, and Wednesday I was pretty busy because I had 2 appointments in one day, so I was mentally fatigued afterwards. And I've been a bit off and on with other stuff as well, so yes. But first of all, before we start this video, I just want to say a big thank you to you guys. You guys have been so patient and so understanding. It is incredible. I can never ask for better viewers as well. I don't like to call you guys fans. I like to call you viewers. It's because it's more natural that way. Thank you guys so much. If you're new to the channel, hello. I usually like to greet new people that come to the channel, and obviously, I do get notifications still, but obviously I haven't been online as much as I would like to because of these stuff that is going on through my life. So thank you guys so much. So anyway, yes. Oh man, I forgot my today report. So anyway, besides that, oh my god, I forget stuff already. So anyway, yes, we're going to should Alvin Chipmunks go to Netflix. This is a little bit late. This is the other video I did to my previous video of all the Alvin Chipmunks, the TV show of Alvin Chipmunks on Netflix is going to Netflix as well. It's streaming right now, so go and watch it if you haven't seen it. I binge watched them in like a couple of days, but after season 4, I was like, I want this over and done with because at that point it was just getting really cringy for me to watch. So besides that, yes. So let's talk about Netflix. We'll talk about this later on, but Netflix is the biggest streaming service platform ever, bigger than Disney. Because they are the first streaming service to be so big, but also they produce so much content. It is insane. When you go on Netflix, they say, oh, this movie's gonna come next Friday. Oh, this TV show's gonna come next week. So they have a platform where they, keep their audience, intrigued instead of logging off to Netflix. So yeah, so that's interesting. Because Netflix was the very first streaming service before the pandemic, and now you got Disney Plus, you got HBO Max as well, you got other streaming services as well. So Netflix is the first big streaming service ever to, do a lot of different things. And the company's like, hey, we should get on board and do that, because it was during the pandemic and we couldn't go to the cinemas or anything. We were locked down. Everything was like a ghost town. So, it was a rough time. But yeah, so that's how streaming came to be. But Netflix was the very first streaming. Netflix is the first big streaming service ever, bigger than Disney, because it's become very popular, Netflix as well. And also, like I said before, streaming is very hot in today's society. You can choose whether or not, audiences have a choice to, go to a theater and watch a movie, or they could just wait until it comes up on their streaming services and watch it then. But with Netflix, because you're home all the time, like, oh, let's watch this movie on Netflix. So it's easier to access than going to the theaters and watching a movie. So I kind of see that appeal, as well. So Netflix does have appeal as well. So that's interesting. Also, Netflix has a lot of content, like a lot of content. I'm usually more on Netflix. I think I'm more on Netflix than maybe a bit of both. Sometimes I like to switch it up a bit, but I think I'm mostly on Netflix because they have such good stuff. I'll tell you what I'm watching at the moment. This is a bit out of context, but anyway. I'm watching at the moment on Netflix. I'm watching a couple of things. I'm watching You. Oh my god, You is such a really good show. If you haven't checked out You, it's more like a psychological thriller crime seeking series. Sorry, that's so good. I just reached season 3, so I'm not up to season 4. So no spoilers, by the way. I'm still binge watching it as we speak. Also, I've just watched The Reverend. That's kind of funny too. It's more like a light-hearted comedy. And also, I've been watching a bit of Seinfeld as well, because Netflix has their own Seinfeld, but we'll talk about them later on, doing like, they like to change their rosters a bit. I think they have Friends on there as well, I can't think of it. Yeah, they do. Yeah, so they have a lot of streaming movies and TV shows and other TV shows that you loved watching as well. So that has that, flexibility to it as well. Also, I think this is new. They did like a top 10 thing a while ago. And it tells you, what's popular. I think Wednesday when it premiered, was like at the top 10. And also the season of You was at the top 10. So that is fantastic. You know what's streaming and you know what's popular because it tells you numbers. So like, oh, I should check out that because that's become so popular on Netflix. So we'll see. Even though they don't reach the top 10, maybe later on they'll reach the top 10. Like, oh, hey, I didn't know the show even existed. Let's go and watch this. So it has, Netflix is accessible as well. With everything. So yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, so anyway, so the Alvin and Chipmunks 2015 show is now streaming on Netflix. Season 3 and 4 have just streamed on Netflix. I wasn't sure when it's gonna come out, but it said next Thursday. Oh my god, I'll definitely be there. Like I said before, it was a bit. At first, I was like having fun with it, and second, I just got really cringy to season 4. So yeah, so it took me a while to get through the episodes, to be honest with you, because it's like 2 in 1 episode. So it's and it goes. I don't know how long it goes for. Does it go for like, I don't know, maybe like 5, maybe 6 minutes? I don't know. But yeah, but anyway, besides that, moving forward. Anyway, besides that, so yeah, so it was just announced that, I put this on my Instagram post if you want to know. It was just announced that Netflix is the #1 show in the US for streaming. Oh, that's so good. It's not the number #1 show where I am. But I'm glad it's topped. I'm glad it's the #1 show in the US. I believe it said, this article says the #1 kids show as well. So that's also amazing as well. So I'm glad kids are watching it as well because it's more for kid. I gotta be honest. I think it's more for kids than adults, to be honest with you. But I still watched it because of the Chipmunks, as well as I said in my previous video as well today as well. So yeah, so go check out the series. I wouldn't say it's good. I'd just say it's medium, okay, So yeah, so also, they used to have the 4 movies on Netflix as well, the live action movies. But because Netflix likes to rotate its roster a lot with different movies and stuff, unfortunately they're not on there anymore. Like, it's not like a thing that stays on. You know how Disney Plus, you can just binge watch everything and nothing goes off the service? That's not Netflix. They like to rotate their stuff. So they give you a warning that, oh, this is going to leave the server, so go watch it before it's too late. So they like to do that. It might reappear one day. I think, it's kind of gone off and on a bit. So I'm sure it will reappear someday. But yeah, but also I just saw Shrek 2 come on Netflix, and also Madagascar come on Netflix as well, because those used to be on Netflix, but they were taken off. So they like to rotate their roster a bit as well. I think they had the 4 movies on there, did they? Did they have the 4 movies on Netflix? I think they did. I know they had the first one and the second one and the third one. I'm not sure. Maybe, yeah, they had all the live action versions on Netflix as well. Speaking of the live action movies, we're going to talk a little bit about this. I won't go into too much detail because I'm sick of it. So anyway, so the live action movies made $1 million at the box office. Woohoo! That's a lot of money. Anyway, so yeah, so even though they don't have the movies on Netflix, I'm sure they'll come back someday. I'm sure they will come back someday. But yeah, but it got me thinking, we'll discuss at the end of the video, but would you prefer a streaming movie of the Chipmunks, or would you prefer going to the movies and seeing a movie of the Chipmunks, like going to cinemas and stuff? That's going to be interesting. We'll discuss that at the end. I'm curious to see how you guys feel about that, because like I said, streaming is available to us more than ever before, and during the pandemic it has become an interesting tool, and it's become very accessible as well, like I said before. So we'll see what they do with the company going forward as well. Now, do I see a potential live action movie coming out on Netflix? 100% yes, of course I do. They had the 4 movies on there, like I said before, and I don't think they need Disney's permission to do a live action movie as well, because they have not only Disney has the movies, but also Netflix has also the movies as well. They might rotate their roster, but they still have them. So I don't think Netflix needs Disney's permission to do a live action movie as well. So they can do that. Their content is amazing. So crisp, so good as well. So they can do that. And they're very they're very, you know, when you see a TV show and a movie, it's like, oh, you know, that's so good. I think Netflix takes its time with their movies or TV shows, and it's just so wonderful to watch something when it's not rushed, because you can tell when something's rushed these days. So yeah, that's interesting. Also, like I said before, the Alvin and the Chipmunks 2015 show is also streaming on Netflix as well. So, what do you think of Alvin and the Chipmunks going to Netflix? How do you feel about this? I mean, we'll see what they come up with, but they're not going to Paramount Plus anymore, so Netflix would be the next best fit. Although I did say a while ago they were considering going to Netflix, but something happened, like a deal fallen through. So let's see if Netflix acquires them. I'll be curious to see how people react. Like, would you rather see an Alvin Chipmunks movie, like I said before, in theaters, or would you prefer seeing it on streaming? That's hard because movies are going back to theaters. So we'll see what they come up with. So make sure to like, share, subscribe to Melissa's Media. Also, you can follow me on TikTok, and also you can follow me on Instagram.